Good evening and welcome to another wonderful Sunday night at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Ish. Yeah, fair enough. With Xbox Tavern. I am Jamie and I'm once again joined by Scottish Guff Ross.
Hello.
And Milliam. No, where is he? Where is he?
No, he's gone.
Right. What about MPV? No MPV. We'll have to settle for ladies' favorite Daniel.
Ladies'
favorite Daniel, how are you?
Hello, ladies. Hi, yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful. Thank you. Wonderful. Yes, both the other two are off this week, attending to family matters. So hope everything's all right. Everything's well. We love you. And we'll see you again next week, hopefully, for more video game goodness and bants. Right, gentlemen, this is Xbox Tavern's Xpod Tavern, episode 73rd.
Third.
There we go.
Yes, 73rd. Fucking flying by. So shall we get into the news, as they say?
Oh, get me in there. I need to see what you've got.
Would you like me to enter the news for you, Daniel?
Yeah, softly, then gently.
Not all at once.
Not all at once, and just pull my hair ever so slightly.
I'm so glad to be back. Right, anyway.
What you've missed.
Top topic of the week this week is Microsoft is supposedly moving ahead with an Xbox Game Pass family plan at last. So, according to Jez Corden, the man at Windows Central, I'll just read a quick bit from him. He says, what you need to know, Xbox Game Pass is Microsoft Netflix-like game subscription, providing access to 100 games, as we all know. But however, one way it isn't like Netflix is the lack of a family plan, allowing you to attach additional accounts to one subscription. So this could be what we've been asking for I don't know, forever, basically, especially those with kids and stuff. He says, rejoice Xbox fans, for Microsoft is about to plug an annoying gap in its Xbox Game Pass service. I just repeating himself again. Jez, what are you doing? One glaring omission from Game Pass historically has been a lack of any sort of Game Pass family plan, which would let you share access to the service among a household. They've written about it before. However, he's heard about Microsoft's desire to create a family plan quite a while ago at this point, and although the details were to work out about how royalties might be distributed and how licenses from third-party publishers would be compensated, according to trusted sources familiar with Microsoft efforts, we can now confirm that Xbox is moving ahead with a Game Pass family plan, which could be set to launch sometime this year. And from his information, paying on a higher tier for the family plan will net access for 5 players for games across the entire library, and it'll be cheaper than paying for 5 separate accounts, as you'd expect from a family plan. And Microsoft obviously already use it for things like Office 365.
Yeah.
So we could see a similar sort of deal like that if anybody out there uses Office. I can't speak this evening. Office 365. So, gentlemen, would you find use for a family plan? Would you be interested in upgrading to a family plan? Scottish Gruff Ross, what are your feelings?
Comes in handy, yeah. I mean, there's, I suppose, only really one console in my house at the moment, but I can see the benefits of it. I suppose, is it going to become... How are they going to work it? So will it be like a login type idea? How will they work it as a family plan? Can you select different gamer tags and that's who's in your family plan type idea?
It's difficult because has anybody here used the Switch family plan?
No.
No.
Oh, I wish I had someone on, because I've looked into that before, where you can share up to 8 accounts on the Switch online. I think it's like 50 quid a year, something like that.
You can share it all for free if you've got someone's login.
I mean, obviously, and likewise
internet.
on Xbox, you know, wink, wink, and nudge, nudge. But yeah, I think on that one, you basically select like a Nintendo account or up to 8 Nintendo accounts to go on to one sort of like main login, if I'm not mistaken. So I imagine it'd be something like that. So if I was to set it up, for example, I could then add maybe your guys' Xbox gamer tags, Graham, Ian, and then we could all share one big happy family Game Pass Fusion Finger plan.
Can make some money out of that.
That would be nice, yes.
Well, yeah. It depends on obviously how much would you be willing to pay, Daniel, for say per month for a 5 gamer tag family plan?
So as you know, my son is now starting to get into gaming a little bit heavier. He's got his own account now. So, I mean, I haven't paid for Game Pass properly for
long time ago.
Yeah, so when it first came through. I managed to get it for that 3 years plus, and then going to XO19, I won a year's worth of Game Pass as well. So I haven't paid really for anything for donkeys. What's it meant to be? 10 quid? I mean,
I think it's for the Game Pass Ultimate. I think it's £15 a month.
£15 a month. I mean, obviously it goes going on value and like that other person using it. If it's 15 quid, I don't want to say 20 quid because I don't want to pay 20 quid, but really £20 is going to be the acceptable kind of money, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think I'd get the value from it playing with my son. However, it depends. If you can add 5 accounts, I mean, this is where Game Pass is going to potentially lose customers to a degree, because if you can share it across, if you and me shared it, for instance, me and my son, you and your children, that's 5 people. That's Game Pass split quite nicely, isn't it?
Done and dusted.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose there's always Microsoft rewards to help pay for some of the cost at least. But I think you're probably bang on probably 20 quid, £25 a push a month would be the upper limit, depending on how much you're actually going to use it, especially if you've got a couple of kids or
I mean,
like I said, if you've got a few friends who want to join.
I think it also, as you say, it depends on how many kids you've got. And I think if you've got maybe 2 or more children, then all of a sudden 25 looks and feels quite reasonable, doesn't it?
Yeah.
For the one child gaming, I'd say 25 is too expensive, but it's that happy medium, isn't it? And like Ross, you were saying, how do you add the accounts? I would imagine you're logging on to your Microsoft account and you can add email addresses in.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It would be something like that.
Yeah.
And then obviously, well, then I suppose then that's, as you were saying, it's not just going to be in-house. As you're saying, you get 5 mates together and that's your Game Pass sorted.
Yeah. I mean, especially if you've got a game sharing buddy as well. That could work out dead cheap for the pair of you, couldn't it?
Yeah. I wonder how that would affect, because obviously at the minute people can game share like we allude to pretty much all the time. You and Dan, myself and Graham, Ian, and I think maybe Pete. I'm not sure. Special guest Pete. So if we got the 5 people on the Game Pass plan, could you still then game share? So effectively, you can get 10 people on a plan, because that would then.
Could you imagine?
That would then reduce the costs even more. So yeah, something to keep an eye on. But I think if it did come out, I definitely would make use of it, especially like I said, my 2 kids get proper into gaming now. Excuse me. And they're forever trying to play stuff on Game Pass, but they need me to be signed in to play it.
Yeah.
Which means I then can't play something on the other Xbox or on the cloud or something. So using something like that would alleviate those problems somewhat.
And it would drop those hours in Minecraft, wouldn't it, for you?
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, bloody Minecraft, most played game. I doubt that somehow. Thank you very much. But obviously, yeah, so we're still waiting to see confirmation of this. This is all just Jez Corden reporting things he's heard and rumor and speculation and all that. But I suppose it could be announced. Well, we got Summer, not E3 anymore. E3's been cancelled, but Summer Game Fest coming up soon. So we could see some sort of announcement around that.
Yeah, I mean, I found it interesting that this kind of dropped. Was it 2 or 3 days after PlayStation dropped their news of their kind of Game Pass? I want to say their Game Pass kind of competitor, but it's not really a Game Pass competitor.
No, it's really not.
But it's interesting how kind of, it's big news. PlayStation are doing this, and then all of a sudden, it kind of starts the cycle up of, Game Pass family. Like all of a sudden, everyone's now, well, I say everyone, but, the internet's talking about family Game Pass and how that is going to be good. It's it was a very interesting kind of marketing ploy by Microsoft.
Sort of sneak out a rumor just as people are going, PlayStation have done this good, well, barely acceptable thing.
Well, yeah, it kind of puts the ball, everyone says that how, this is going to be a great competitor. And then you're like, well, yeah, we're going to have family plans now as well. And you're just like, yeah, okay, that news is old. What? But I mean, this, as you alluded to, has been spoken about, I think it was last year and the year before that. Yeah. And then it was requested kind of 6-7 months into the Game Pass kind of life
people
cycle.
Have been asking for a long time for this. So it'd be well overdue if it does come this year. which hopefully it will, because as I said, all of us will make use of it, and I'm sure people out there will be able to make use of it as well. And we'll have to keep an eye on our game share plan, like we just said, especially if you can get 10 people on there for the price of 5.
Oh, jeez, can you imagine?
Sorted. You'll be laughing. Anyway, speaking of Game Pass, let's talk about Guardians of the Galaxy, shall we?
Yes.
So Dan's favourite games?
Indeed. His game of the year last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. And it is a game and a half. Definitely worth a play.
Did that come out, what was it, towards the end of last year on Game Pass, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah. No, I think it was beginning of this year.
Beginning of this year it was. Was it not just January?
January. I
Yeah,
want to say Feb, I think.
Was it any February?
Feb, yeah.
Yeah. Time just flies by, doesn't it? Anyway, so the details, obviously, on how games get onto Game Pass and how Microsoft sort of reimburse companies for putting their stuff on there, it's been quite what's the right word, secretive, because they're not really going out. Thank you. They're not really going out and saying, "Oh, we've paid this much money to get this game on our service." But according to a man named David Gibson, who is supposedly some sort of analyst for the game industry, specializing in Square Enix, he reckons that Microsoft paid Square Enix in the region of $5 to $10 million to get Guardians of the Galaxy on Game Pass, which is a pretty, well, he literally said it here, pretty hefty sum, yeah. So I suppose what I want to ask is, do you think that's your average amount for a bigger game? Obviously, I imagine the indie titles will get a lot less than that. Obviously, I'm sure they'd be very happy getting 5 to 10 million for a smaller indie game. But do you think that's a crazy amount? Do you reckon it's sustainable if they're going to keep throwing this sort of money at people like Square Enix or Capcom or someone to get big third-party games on there?
I don't think they're going to have any issue maintaining it. I'd be shocked if... I'm not going to say they're going to do it for every single solitary game, but I don't think there's enough negatives from paying that sort of money to outweigh the positives that they get from it.
I just can't see. So I can see the brilliantness of the marketing ploy, it's in Game Pass, but to spend that amount of money, you want at minimum your money to come back. Was it GDC that's just gone? They put figures out of how many subscribers they've got. And I can't see that they, with the announcement of Guardians of the Galaxy dropping into Game Pass, that they've recouped their revenue for the money they forked out for Guardians. I personally can't see that amount of money.
I guess they're kind of banking on everything making the money rather than just one or two games. So as I said, they're probably paying a lot less for Tunic or other titles like that.
Yeah.
So they're kind of balancing it out. So, we'll get people in with Guardians of the Galaxy, but then they'll stay for Tunic, they'll stay for smaller indie titles like that and keep the subscription rolling.
Exactly. I suppose to get people that kind of taste of, oh wow, Game Pass is this. But I'm thinking back the last air quotes big title that dropped. You could arguably say was Rainbow Six Extraction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did they pay roughly that amount, or did they pay into the millions? Day one in Game Pass.
They must have paid into the million. I mean, they got mugged off whatever they paid for it because.
Yeah, but can you see what I mean? So all of a sudden, just from those two titles, potentially you're either 10 million or you're 20 million down already.
Yeah, I mean, these are all numbers that are way bigger than I can possibly comprehend.
Oh,
because I'm not a businessman. As I said before, I'm sure it works out in the long run, but it seems crazy to pay that much for one game. I guess they're probably going to have it for a year, maybe. Something like MLB The Show coming last year, and that's going out again. Is it next week? In anticipation of the next game coming into Game Pass. So I wonder if they're paying that sort of money and be like, a year we'll get out of it. And then hoping that something else comes along where they can chuck another. I suppose they just spend $70 billion on a company. So 5 to 10 million is kind of pocket change to them, I suppose.
Well, it can be a drop in the ocean, yeah. But you can't run your business on a deficit, because that business plan doesn't work for long, does it?
But we'll see.
But exactly, I think time will tell if they keep getting big games into Game Pass day one that is obviously third party. Then, maybe they are making the money.
Yeah, there must be some number crunchers somewhere very happy with what they're seeing, but I don't know. Beyond me. Anyway, speaking of, I ain't got a good segue for this. Fortnite is officially added to the new zero build mode. So this is coming from Video Games Chronicle and the internet at large. You can now play Fortnite without having to worry about those speedy builders building a fucking castle before you can get a shot off. We've all been playing it, I think, separately, and it's a lot of fun, I think.
Great. So glad this mode's now out. Can actually enjoy Fortnite without one done right. I'm going to down to the last 3, and next time I'm going to be standing in the middle of like New York City with fucking wooden skyscrapers. Fucking shit.
It's it's definitely a nice change for us older gamers. I believe they've now it's official, isn't it, that this is going to be part of the Fortnite now, the no building mode.
Yeah, so there's the standard and then there's the no or zero build mode, whatever they call it.
So and they were saying it's part of the storyline, which is I mean, Epic are awesome at doing whatever they do and then building this story in and around their game.
The opening cinematic, I think that it shows. Is it the 7 or is it something? I've not really kept up with the lore of Fortnite as much as there is lore of Fortnite. But they show them they're sort of building to defend themselves, and then they wipe all the structures they built out, and characters are falling out the sky and stuff. It's like, okay, but yeah, it's good. I like how they've increased the sprint, so you can sprint faster for a short period of time. You've got extra shield, the
overshield
allowance overshield. That's the one that sort of recharges on its own, and you can mantle now as well, which is nice rather than trying to just obviously because you can't build, you can actually clamber up buildings.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed it. I played it with Special Guest Pete last night for a few hours, like I was saying before we started. Didn't get any wins, but we had a lot of fun. But Daniel, you got a win.
I got a dub. I got carried. Played with 3 randos, and
it's a standard for you, Dan.
It is a standard. I think I got the second to last kill. So I saw someone hiding up on the rafters, managed to bounce on a tire and go up after them. And I don't know what was in it, like rush of blood. I was like, I'm going to go get this mofo. Killed them. And then as I turned around to go to meet my team, the win came up. So, Victory Royale was mine to enjoy.
Your days. Very nice. I hope you did a nifty little dance at the end, as is customary when you get a W.
I don't know the freaking buttons. I know what shoot is, I know what run is, and that's about it. I had to look at my controller to look how to drop items and like go into your backpack and don't have to throw a grenade. God knows.
And Ross, as you take a swig of your water there, have you been enjoying the new no build mode or zero build mode?
It's just so much nicer. Yeah, this like you're saying, just like even things like mantling, that makes it so much better than this whole fucking stupid jump you done up in the air left you totally exposed. The, as you're saying, faster speed, the overshield recharge throughout the game. Just so much nice knowing that when it comes down to the last 5-6 people, your gunplay is going to be the determining factor, not I'm way ahead of you and I can take all this time to pick my shot from up high. Much
spinning around in a circle, building a fucking, like you said, like New York City towers and towers all over the shop.
Fuck. But so much better. Really enjoying it. It probably actually, by having this mode in it, it'll probably make me play Fortnite a bit more.
Yeah, I haven't played it for probably about a year or so. Like properly, like me and Special Guest Pete proper got into it, but we stopped at a certain point. But this got us right back in last night. I was having a great time, so definitely going to play some more over the next few weeks. I even contemplated buying the battle pass for a brief moment last night, but
their skins, they do the best. Their battle pass is awesome. Absolutely, it for any game they need to copy or have that kind of Halo. Take note, that kind of system in place for battle passes, because they are the top tier in battle pass.
They are indeed the top tier. So we'll play some. Maybe we'll play some together at some point, and we get a recording going. Whack it up on the old YouTube channels.
YouTubes.
But speaking of battle passes, Daniel, there's a nice little complimentary segue there. Halo It's not a very good battle pass at all, is it?
Oh, it's
No.
like urine.
I mean, I enjoy Halo for the gameplay, but even I can concede the battle pass that they've got at the minute is dog shit, basically, because who wants to spend 100 hours grinding to unlock a fucking shoulder pad? Just one, and then you got to unlock the other side later on.
In another 20 levels.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a good system. And the fact that you can, I mean, okay, if you're not very good at playing the game, it's good because it's not skill based.
So Dan's like, yes.
Well, yeah, but you know, it would be nice to have more, not more option, but more kind of, well, yeah, more options to help you progress through that battle pass and XP. You know, they changed it because there was fan outrage in the first couple of weeks, because it was too hard to kind of grind that. But yeah, they need to do a little bit more. Couple of, I think, you know, killing things or gun doobies, or even like hiding, not having a fight, but you know, melee kills.
As you said, like Fortnite do a fantastic job of the battle pass and the challenges specifically, because there's fucking dozens to do per level, and they go, like you said, they go from running 100 meters to killing 3 enemies in a row to fishing to sliding to building if you're playing the builder mode, or open 10 chests, open 15 chests, use a sniper rifle, pick these weapons. Whereas Halo is like, just play 10 matches a day every day until the end of time, and we might possibly give you a level on our battle pass. They definitely need to upgrade it in terms of, you know, like I said, use a needler once, throw 3 grenades, what's it called, backslap someone, anything more interesting than the shit that they've got, because it's a shame, because the game is awesome. However, community director Brian Sketch Jared posted a reply to a Reddit user. This is from VGC, I should have said, who said they wish 343 Industries would acknowledge there have been issues that are delaying progress on new features for the game, such as the battle pass and co-op and forge, etc., etc. And he says there are indeed a lot of challenges and constraints. We're certainly not happy to be unable to meet player and community expectations. It's a difficult situation. It's going to take them the team time to work through. Right now, the focus is on season 2, and we'll have more to share on that in the coming weeks. Meanwhile, a lot of production planning, costing planning, hiring, etc., is all happening, which doesn't really lend to regular, detailed updates. So basically, I don't know how 343 keep doing it, but they just constantly fucking something up. Whether it was the Master Chief Collection launch, or Halo 5 single player, or now Infinite, you've got a fantastic single player, fantastic multiplayer, but they can't seem to get the details there to actually hold people like to come back. Even I've fallen off, and I love playing Halo, but it's just not gripping me to keep coming back every day like it used to back in the day. Ross, have you played it since we played back in December?
Nope,
I
haven't touched that at all.
Is there anything they could do which would get you back in to play some more?
Get the roadmap sorted, get co-op and campaign. Don't know. The thing is, the multiplayer side of it's not that it's not enjoyable. It's just not having the chance to jump into the multiplayer side of it, to be fair. But the single player side of it is more like the single player, the campaign side of it, I should say, is more. I need them to hurry up and fix that. I want to play through it again in co-op mode.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm waiting for. That'll be the next time I put serious hours in it.
Yeah, well, yeah. As I said, I was lucky enough to review it before it came out, so I played it on my own. But none of my progress tracked, or none of my, I lost everything when their game came out, and I've been waiting to play it again. But I want to do it in co-op, like you say. And the longer they keep delaying it, the less and less interested I am in going back through it again. However, the multiplayer, like I said, is really, really good. It's just, if you're into battle passes and cosmetics and stuff, it's not very well set up for you at the minute. Daniel, is there anything for you that they could do?
I like the events they do. I think they do a fairly good job of running an event alongside the normal battle pass, which we've said is not very good, and how you can progress in both battle passes at the same time, which is nice. But there just needs to be a little bit more. And I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's not having a storyline. That's not going to bring me in, but just something different in the whole kind of gameplay or the multiplayer, but drag me in with an event, or, shotguns only. there you are. You know, it's only going to be shotguns this week. Next week will be sniper rifles. All right, I'm not going to play sniper rifles. Can't hit a barn door. But I think having a variation in the gameplay modes for limited times might actually pique people's interests.
Yeah, cycle out, because when they do, like you said, like the 10 Rye event, or they had the one. What was the other one? Because there was the 10 Rye one was where they kept swatching the weapons around.
Yeah, which is quite cool. Apart from when you get a dud double gun, but that's such is life.
Yeah, they need more stuff like that, because the gameplay is awesome. It's just there's nothing sort of alluring to like I must play this all the time.
And I don't think they do a good job of promoting it. I think, I mean, I might not be looking at it properly, but when the 10 Rye event is on at the moment, or happened last week, and they kind of drop a 30-second trailer, and that's it.
Yeah.
Not have this big kind of. They need this big kind of razzmatazz. Oh, here we go. You know, even something really stupid. You know, they've got the Halo thing that's come out on TV. Why not have an event based around the TV show? You know, you've got a perfect opportunity to, one, you have potentially got people who have never played games that will see see Halo and then think, oh, I might play Halo.
Yeah.
I might go out and get an expert. I don't know. But it could have worked all in tandem. They could have had an event based around the Halo friggin' episodes. But
I saw something come up the other day that they're supposedly planning something like that. But what's the point of planning it now?
Yeah,
when it's already started. You should have been there for the kickoff. Like,
it should have been there for the kickoff, even if it's something really stupid, double XP.
Yeah, just something like that.
It's shite and it's not what people want. But if you did an double XP event on the launch of Halo and gave everyone, I don't know, a cool little card that had, you know, Halo TV show or something daft. It's naff, but people would have logged in and they may have actually played a little bit more because it's double XP.
Yeah. Any reason to get people excited to play. Because again, as I keep saying, I love playing it. It's really good. It's the best multiplayer since 3, probably.
Oh, by hands
even
down.
Then, I just can't be bothered to go back into it because I'm not bothered about the battle pass per se, but there's just nothing like, oh, I must go and play this today because there's an event on, or because there's a new mode or a new map or something like that. It's just, I've kind of done all this already. And
it's a bit stale.
At this point I'm playing and I'm just getting decimated because the people who are playing every day have just figured out all the hiding spots and the good angles and stuff. And it's lost some of its luster for me, should we say.
Yeah. Even bringing in Griffball or something like that just for 2 weeks.
Something just to break it up.
Yeah, something with a bit of character, which is unfortunately seems to be what 343 are lacking mostly. However, something that's got a very good character in is the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe Edition, which is coming out April 27th, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So, Ross, you played Stanley Parable before?
Yes.
Good. Daniel, have you played it?
Of course
I haven't. I'm from your recommendation, I'm quite looking forward for this to come out because I'm a virgin. I haven't touched it.
It's I mean, we'll skip past that.
We'll just missed that part completely.
So Stanley Parable come out, I think, in 2013, something like that originally. And it's basically one of the original walk-in sims / 4-4 break-in, like narrative story-based games. But everything you do has got a consequence for the narrator and the story. So you start off and he says, Stanley went through the left door, and you can follow his advice and go through the left, and then the story carries on, or you can go through the right door. And he went, that's not the way Stanley went. Stanley turned around, and you can just ignore him or you can listen to him. And no matter what you do, they've thought of a response. I think there's one, I won't spoil too much, but there's one where there's a broom cupboard and you go in, and if you stand in there for a little bit, the narrator goes, Stanley remained in the broom cupboard despite there being literally nothing of importance in here. And you stay in there a little bit longer, and he's like, Stanley remained, and I just don't understand why he's not leaving this broom cupboard. There's nothing here, Stanley. Move on. And it's just no matter what you can think of, they've thought of it before you. And it's hilarious. And this Ultra Deluxe Edition is promising tons more variables in the story and that. There's loads of different endings and outcomes and twists and stuff, and I don't think there's any sort of canon run, as it were. But it's just, yeah, it's hilarious, all of it, and I love playing for it on PC many times. And I'm very much looking forward to this. It's coming out in, like I said, April 27, which is in American date, so 4/27, which is the desk that Stanley sits at, number 427, for his office job, which he works where he has to sit and press buttons.
Who's the narrator? Because this feels like John Cleese should be narrating it.
It's a very English guy. I can't remember his name though. He sounds kind of like the guy from Fable, the original Fable, but
that is John Cleese.
I know the original one, not.
Oh no, sorry, John Cleese. He was a butler in 2, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't think of it, but looking forward.
Kevin Brighton.
Good old Kev.
I think he's been in a couple of other games as well, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, no, it's really good. And again, as the trailer says, if you watch the release date trailer, it's sort of like a shame to spoil anything. So just trust us. It's a good game. It's very enjoyable, very funny.
Oh, Stephen Merchant.
Go and play it. Stephen, I think maybe he might have.
He sounds familiar. He was in. He was in Fable as well.
In a few things, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, message redacted.
Wasn't he in Portal?
Yes, he was a baddie in the second one.
Yeah. But anyway, Stanley Parable, bloody awesome. Go play it on the 27th of April. The original version is out now, I think, on Xbox, so you can pick it up if you want to get a taste of it ahead of time. But yeah, this Ultra Deluxe edition sounds and looks pretty damn decent, so I'm very excited to play it.
Good.
Yes, boy, good. And on to Stanley moved on to the next story, which is shift codes. Ross.
Yeah, that was almost a fucking spray right in the mic.
Ross, tell me about shift codes.
So shift codes are the wonderful, I don't want to say currency, because it's not currency. They're the wonderful handouts that Gearbox give out all the time. They done it with golden keys in the second game and third game for Borderlands. Then they introduced diamond keys, which were to unlock a treasure trove room on your ship in 3. And being a more medieval fantasy type game for Wonderlands, they have skeleton keys. So you're getting skeleton keys as just redeem your code on your shift account and you'll get a key to open up a treasure chest. Usually the treasure chest has higher end, but not necessarily always legendary loot, but maybe better than what you have. So it's really good if you're just starting off in the game. Got a couple of keys, you go in, you get better weapons, and they'll always be to the level that you're at. There'll be what was I going to say? There'll be like guns. I'm thinking back to 3: guns, shields, artifacts, grenade mods, things like that. So it'll just make your playthrough a wee bit easier if you're struggling to get go. Most people who are more well versed in the Borderlands world, you'll tend to find they'll have like 6,000 keys because you get them randomly. You get them through the game, and you never use them because you don't need to. But
so why did they give them away on Twitter then? Gearbox and stuff.
I think it is just for that. Like people can redeem them. I know there was a couple of mini events in 3 that the skeleton key loot, the golden key loot chest was giving out higher quality or higher rarity weapons. So for a wee while that encouraged people to redeem their codes to get more keys to get the loot out of that. But 9 times out of 10, I wouldn't say it's worth, especially a game like Borderlands. I've heard Tiny Tina's a wee bit different in regards to the drop rates for your legendaries are infinitely more difficult to get. But for Borderlands 3, I mean, you turn a corner and there's legendaries, so there was no need to worry about getting them out the chest. Whereas if it's true what they're saying about Wonderlands, it could be a good avenue to go down to try and get higher tier weapons.
Yeah, they're only giving one away, aren't they? Normally,
yeah, usually it's like 3 or 5 and things like that.
Yeah, used to be those type of numbers. I remember like collecting loads over Twitter and kind of putting them in your shift code. But it's worth keeping an eye out if you're into Tiny Tina or Borderlands. They'll, I think the actual Tiny Tina's
Tiny Tina's Wonderlands.
Yeah, I think is the account you want to follow and make sure you collect.
Yeah, and Gearbox sends them all the time on their page as well. And So any of them you'll be able to go. And plus, if you go onto the Gear or the Shift Gearbox website, the one that's linked in that, you usually tend to find there's like little things that you can click into. And by doing it, it's almost like Microsoft Rewards. You click into like the daily poll, and it gives you 30 Microsoft Reward points. You click into a character bio on the Shift website, and you get a golden key, or something like that. Or you fill in who was your favorite Vault Hunter on something, you get a golden key. So there's a few other ways to earn it as well.
And are they single use, or is a single key?
Use? Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, the code is valid for a certain amount. It expires like within a week or sometimes a day. It's different. It depends what they decide.
Yeah. So the ones they're tweeting out, not just one person can use it. Many people can use it.
Yeah. No, it's not. Okay. Yeah, it's just once you've redeemed it in game, that's it. You only get one key for it.
Cool. Nice. Well, yeah, go check out Tiny Tina Wonderland on Twitter and Gearbox and all the other good stuff if you're playing that game. Ross, have you played much of it yet?
I haven't touched it yet. I have been swamped with other things trying to get Daniel off my case for content.
Content is king, as they say.
Well, yeah, and he still hasn't done any of it.
Apart from the 6 videos, you prick.
All right, well, that'll do for the news this week, I think. That'll do us. Thank you very much. If you've made this far, you're a hero. We are Xbox Tavern, and this is Xbox Tavern's Xpod Tavern, episode 73rd, which we record every Sunday night on youtube.com/Xbox Tavern Official at 8 p.m.
Ish. Remember, it's BST now.
Yes, it's BST. Oh, bloody daylight saving. What a waste of time. Anyway, you can find all of our other video content that Daniel and Ross and some of the other team work on again at youtube.com/Xbox Tavern Official. You can also find our written stuff at xboxtavern.com. You can find us at Xbox Tavern on Twitter, Discord, TikTok. I don't know.
Don't stop.
Probably some sort of something on Pornhub somewhere, I'm sure, is Xbox Tavern related. If you dig hard enough, as they say.
Just be pictures of Dan lying seductively on beds.
I think there's a video of me and Ian up there. So anyway, and we're also partnered with our good friends at Insert Coin. And if you go to insertcoinclothing.com, and you can use the Xbox Tavern 22 promo code for 20% off for the entirety of 2022. They've got some fantastic clothes on there. I'm representing my Gears of War and my Insert Coin beanie this evening.
I'm loving that jumper. That is that a lightweight hoodie?
It's a lightweight hoodie with a nice little camo print. I've got triple XL as always because I love the big baggy stuff, and it's well comfortable. So yes, I saw my nan earlier on, and she wanted to steal it because she was cold. I was like, hell no, hell no! Put your coat on, you old lady. Put it on. No, I'm joking. I let her borrow it for a little bit, but no, it's good. It's a good little.
Did you?
Well, I did the other week. Not today. It wasn't that cold today. She was just whinging. Anyway, go check them out. InsideCoinClothing.com. Some fantastic stuff on there. And then that's about that for that. So, questions, gentlemen. Do you like questions? I like questions.
I like a question, yeah.
Speaking of questions, quiz coming up soon, Nip.
Yep. 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Let's see if Millie Manian's remembered to start preparing.
I think he's on it because I think he wants to test the 3 of us since Dan's fucking off for that week.
So I'm busy. I don't know what I'm doing that week actually, but yeah, I'm busy.
I want you to play along at home, Daniel, and tell us you got all the answers right.
Yeah, of course you do.
Do you know what? I might sit in and just annoy you in chat. That's what I might do.
So yeah,
give out the answers as he keeps asking.
Yeah, episode 75th, we're supposed to be doing another one of our quizzes. So hopefully you'll stick around for
the grand champion.
For the grand champion between myself, Scottish Gruff, and MPV Graham.
Yeah.
So, so come along with the other quizzes are up on YouTube and podcast services. So go check them out. That would be lovely. Anyway, questions. We have a question every week. And this week we've got, what was the first game you bought with your own money? So for this one, I've sort of caveated it with money you actually earned, not someone pocket money or birthday money and stuff like that. I am going to go to Scottish Gruff first. Tell me all about it.
I didn't realize you were premising it based on. Oh, sorry, because that makes us well late on that. SSX was 2001. It was only fucking 10.
Well, you should have been working up there by now.
12, yeah, probably.
Yeah, they work down the pits.
In the pits, yeah, I was going to say, just in the pits. Instead of the little fucking canary that they put down, it's just 10-year-olds. Just fuck it.
Yeah, in a cage.
Exactly. It's just smell gas. Fucking run.
Sorry, that was the beans I had.
Right, well, I based it on just money that I put together and bought a game with, so fuckies. I'm not as geriatric as used to. So
Fair
my one was on the PS2. It was SSX Tricky, which was fucking amazing. Best snowboarding game ever.
I don't know. Have you played 1080 snowboarding?
Yes, on the 64. I remember it vividly. It still wasn't as good as SSX Tricky.
Tricky, I think, is the premium snowboarding game, isn't it? I still haven't tried this Shredders yet, but I think
Shredders is hard as fuck.
Yeah, it's more like 1080 than
fucking
SSX.
really hard.
That was it. I'll delete off the Xbox then. I won't bother.
Yeah, I've only done a bit of the tutorials so far, but yes, it's proper 1080 style.
Okay.
I want to get back to it at some point. But yeah. So what made SSX Tricky your favorite? Was it just a case of time, or was there were you saving up for it, or anything like that?
Having been brought up on quite a bit of sort of West Coast hip hop, and Run DMC obviously doing It's Tricky as the main theme song for it, I was like, oh, I need this game in my life. And I think it was just one of these things where it was like I had money, and I can't remember why exactly I had the money, but I do remember running into what used to be Game Station, not fucking Game. Super excited, like, oh my god, and getting this fucking SSX Tricky, thinking this is going to be amazing, and it was fucking awesome.
Nice.
And for the life of me, it is pissing me off. I can't remember the name of the character with a big, massive afro.
Let's call him Afro McAfro.
Let's not call him, because it's
move
really going to piss me off.
Right,
I can't remember his
while
name.
you figured it out, I'll go to Daniel. Daniel, what was the first game you spent your own hard-earned money on, or pocket money, or?
Well, hard-earned money. I went with Pro Evo because I could not think of the very, very first game, but Pro Evo on PlayStation 2, I believe, I want to say, was the first game I bought, because I was a very, very sad individual that all I would ever buy on my consoles was football games, because football was king, or
Obviously.
soccer for you American listeners. So I believe it was Pro Evo, and I even remember on the PlayStation 2 you could go to eBay and buy the memory cards, which some poor person decided to give you all the real kits, all the real names, all the real whatever. And I don't know, I want to say they were like 20 quid or 30 quid, and you'd buy the memory card, and 3 weeks later you'd get the memory card, plug that into your PlayStation, and you'd have all the right names, all the right kits, all the right TRs. Yeah, superb every time.
Fair enough.
Pro Evo for life.
Nice. So yeah, I think that was. You can do that sort of stuff online now, can't you?
Well, I mean,
Well,
now there's
I don't know.
FIFA. You have FIFA, and FIFA's all kind of has more or less 95% of everything you need. But back in the poor PlayStation 2 days, it was Man Red and Man Blue, and oh god, you know, Merseyside Red, Merseyside Blue. I can't remember any of the others, but yeah, there were some real like shite names.
Fair enough. Well, speaking of shite names, have you figured out Afro Boy?
Yeah, sorry, fuck. I thought you were talking about Dan. I was like, who the fuck's Afro Boy got to do with Pro M? Yes, it was Edward Eddie Wachowski. That was the man.
I mean,
he was Eddie in the game, but yeah, that was the guy it was. He was fucking awesome.
Fair enough. Good. Well, I'm glad we got to the bottom of that mystery. I don't think I've ever played SSX, actually, to be honest. But
do I want to say it was like the Tony Hawk of snowboarding?
Oh yeah, you could just do some like stupid stuff in game. Like some of the trips you would be, like you would never be able to do in real life, but it just looked badass as fuck. And it done a really good idea, like making the courses feel like, as much as they were courses, they were actually just like in the cities. So you were like grinding on the side of buildings because the snow had came way up to the side of the top of the building. So the way that you could go, it was just such a fucking awesome game, and it had an awesome soundtrack.
Is that one on backwards compatibility?
No, I don't think so. They did bring out they brought out SSX in 2012, but that was Well, we don't talk about that.
Cool. All right. We'll move on from that then. I guess my turn now, isn't it? The first one I remember buying, I'm sure there were games before this, like you, Daniel, but so it was Speed Devils.
Such a long time ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I remember spending birthday money and stuff like that. But the first one I really remember going into game with money I'd actually earned from my job was Speed Devils on a Dreamcast, which was a racing game that sold me because there was one track that was based in Hollywood, and you sort of driving through movie sets and that, and there was a bit where you drove underneath a T-Rex and you went through his legs and he went to bite the car and stuff, and I thought that was the most awesome thing I'd ever seen at that point in my life. And yeah, it was a great game. A really enjoyable racer. Not a sim as such, but not really arcadey either. It's kind of like a good balance between the two. You had to upgrade your tires and engine and turbos and suspension and stuff. But then at the same time, like I said, you got to drive for a T-Rex's legs and all this sort of stuff. And yeah, it was a really great game. Really enjoyed that one. And I remember going in there and sort of picking it up off the shelf and like you said, like getting sort of like the excited jitters, as it were. Like, I can't wait to fucking get this home and play it. And they eventually released, I think it was Speed Devils Online, they called it, but by that point the Dreamcast had shit the bed, so I never got around to playing that one. But first game, awesome, good game. Go check it out.
Right. So you two have mentioned two of the shops that I had in my hometown back in the day. So were you specifically Game or were you Game Station? I had both in my town. I was a lucky boy.
I thought Game bought over Game Station.
They did, but at the time I still had both shops.
Remember, Daniel's old.
Yeah, true.
All right, chill out. not that much older than you, I'll have you know.
No, I know.
So yeah, were you predominantly? Did you just go to Game Station, Ross, because Game Station was the only one
we had? Yeah.
Okay, and yourself, Jay, was Game the only one you had?
Well, I worked in Game, so I went there, and we also had Game, EB, and Game Station.
What the fuck's EB?
Electronics Boutique, which was my preference until Game bought them, and then I had two games and a Game Station, and then they Game bought Game Station, and then I just ended up with one game, which I think there's no games at all left in Woking now where I grew up. They've all moved away. And our EB for life, Electronics Boutique. That was far better.
See, I'm Game for life. Just their returns policy was just play the game for 15 days, see you later, give it back, and you get all your money back.
Yeah, they mugged themselves right off there.
Well, exactly. That's why they went bust.
Yeah. Anyway, we could reminisce about shops all day long. However, we should talk about games we've been playing. And one of the games we've been playing this week is Second Extinction, our Project Game Pass game. Gentlemen, have you had a chance to play more this week?
Yeah.
I've put you. Yeah. 3 of us played together, Jay.
Yeah, I know. I'm just throwing it out, you know.
Yeah, just testing the water.
That's called attempting to host. So we played some Second Extinction on Tuesday, was it?
We did play, yes, Tuesday.
Yeah, it was Tuesday.
And in the 25 minutes we managed to get together, it was good fun.
Okay. If someone would have hurried up instead of messing about with his recordings, we would have been fine. We would have had an hour and a bit.
So we played a couple of rounds. It was good fun. It was nice to play with 3 players. I did play a bit more on Friday night with Graham, which again was good fun. But obviously it was just the 2 of us, so it was good to have a third. Not as challenging as I expected it to be.
In fairness, I think because Dan was picking the game, so we went into the easy mode. But, when me and Dan played it, it was a lot harder when it was just the 2 of us. But having the third seemed to make it a lot
so much easier.
We took down the T-Rex in the mission that we tried. We took down a couple of the ankylosaurs. Trying to think what else. There
was that one where we were extracting, weren't there? And there was a few of those.
Yeah.
What do you call them? Because I don't want to say it wrong.
No, we'll let Dan pick.
See, I think it's Ankylosaurus.
That's how I would have said it as well, but I'm going to go with Ross because he's bigger and scarier than I am.
Well, in Scotland, they've got them just roaming around, haven't they?
You realise there's an L-O in it, and Kylo, like Kylo Ren, and Kylosaurus.
What's that?
You know,
Anyway.
pterodactyl's got a PT in it, but it's still called pterodactyl.
Granted, I'll give you that one. Yeah.
Anyway, so we fought a few of them, and we got the big purple bastard coming chasing after us, trying to
Oh
get on
yeah,
the ship.
fucking that was
flipping hell. That was rock
that
hard.
was like, what the fuck are you?
That's when the incendiary grenades and the
Aye.
electric fences and
Whole
the
place
fucking-
just lit up.
everything on fire and exploding. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it actually from what we played with you guys and with Graham and stuff. As I think Ian said, it's kind of like, and Graham, I think like Apex in the combat feel.
Yeah.
But then you've also got like the Left 4 Dead where the dinosaurs are coming at you in swarms, and there's different types and different elemental attacks and stuff like that. And yeah, for a game in early game preview.
Yeah,
I think it's fucking brilliant.
Runs perfectly for being a preview game like that. I never had any issues with it. Connectivity was fine. I didn't have any bugs. There was no glitching. It runs brilliantly.
Looking at it, it is a very pretty game. And then obviously as you progress up to level 4, like that's when it really opens up, doesn't it? And you can then buy perks, and could you buy attachments? You could get attachments for your weapons, which you could add on. And it really did kind of give you that loop of, well, if you carry on playing, you'll get those extra dinosaur bits so you can upgrade your gun.
The one thing I'm not a big fan of was upgrading the gun. For example, you have to buy I forgot what they called, like research points or something, is it?
Yeah, so there's 2 of them, isn't there? Because we were getting mixed up with it. There's the research.
You have to buy the points and then buy the slots to put the points into.
Yes.
But you could only have, well, in the gun I was trying to upgrade, you could only have 10 points.
Yeah.
But there was something like 20 slots, so you could only upgrade 10 parts of that. You couldn't upgrade the whole gun, which I guess is there for a reason, but I would have liked to have just been able to just, in a game that hectic, just upgrade my minigun to the max.
Yeah, just unlimited ammo, fucking perfect accuracy, just go for it. Fuck it.
Just let me fucking spit fire. But
that character is a cheat code. That kind of minigun, you definitely, if you're playing with 3 players, somebody needs to be that character, because my God, the covering fire that lays out.
Damn right. I mean,
really
the ammo
helps.
disappears in the blink of an eye, but it is a fucking great gun.
Yeah. The assault rifle was all right. That's the only gun I can use.
I've not unlocked it yet. What was I using? The scout rifle and what's the other? No, the assault rifle is what you start off with, and then you unlock the machine gun. Is that right?
Possibly.
Yeah. So the assault rifle and the scout rifle is what I've been using, and then I think you had just before we went off that unlocked the machine gun, but we hadn't had a chance to use it.
Yeah.
But no, it's such a good game.
Yeah. Graham unlocked the artillery gun, I think it was, but that was really hard to use, he found, because it basically was like a single shot and then you had to reload. But it was a really powerful shot, but if you missed, you were fucked for about 5-10 seconds.
Oh yeah, that's not good, is it?
Yeah.
With a game like that, you need to have that rapid fire, don't you? And
the speed of the dinosaurs coming in,
totally. And I found that when you did the 2-player, as me and Ross found, it was harder. Having that third person, just it helps so much more. And then obviously that being the minigun as well, kind of gives you that ability to kind of quickly relax, reload, take your shots more accurately.
But then at the same time, like I said, me and Gray played on Friday, just 2 of us, and we steamrolled it as well. We didn't come up against a T-Rex in our play this time, I don't think, but we come up against a few big boys, and we absolutely rinsed them. But again, we both upgraded some guns and stuff at that point, so that probably helped things quite a lot.
And then was it Ian that told us, Ross, that as you play through the kind of map resets, so as you carry on playing the games,
so it's like
whichever one it is,
we can run into we can run into a different section, but say like there's 8 spaces and we run through 3 of them, and then we go to another 3, but we don't go back to the 3 that we originally went to. As much as they've lowered down to a green, they'll then move back up to an amber and then back up to a red if you don't maintain them. I noticed that when we were playing it the other night, some of the ones that we had played the other time when it was just me and Dan, they jumped back to the other colours that they were previously because we didn't go back in and clear it out again. Yeah. So it's quite a good wee system as well.
And he was saying, I think they reset every Friday, don't they, and go back to their something Tuesday or Friday they reset back.
There seems to be a time where they reset everybody's base level and be like, right, here you go, have a whacking great dinosaur fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, really enjoyed it. Obviously, we'll get the other two's opinion next week. But thumbs up, thumbs down, quick round table.
Proper thumbs up with me. Yep.
Daniel up, myself up.
Yeah.
No, I really enjoyed it. I was surprised how much, because I did want to play it before. I never got around to it, but yeah, really good game. Really enjoyed it. So go check it out. Game Pass, game preview. Get a couple of friends together. I hope perhaps when the full release comes out, either they up the player count or maybe incorporate, I think like we said, having a couple of teams of players in one map, so you can kind of fight players and the enemies at the same time. That might be quite interesting to have, that sort of dynamic of running across another team and be like, shit, we've got to fight these dinosaurs and other players now.
That would be interesting, wouldn't it? That would get the PvP and PvE all at the same time, wouldn't it?
Yeah, something along the lines of like Left 4 Dead, where you can have the players versus players as well as the infected and stuff. But we'll see. I don't think there's a firm release date for it to come out of early access yet, so we shall go from there. However, we picked a new game for this month. It is now April, so Second Extinction. What's that? Yeah, I don't play that. It's old news. Anyway, we've decided to go for. I hope the other two are right with that. Dead by Daylight, which is a 4v1 asymmetric multiplayer horror game where one player plays the killer, based upon several properties.
Awesome horror.
Yeah, I think there's Jason and
there's loads now. There's like loads.
Yeah, and the important one obviously is Nemesis, and you can also play as Jill Valentine and Leon Kennedy and stuff. And yeah, the four survivors have to try and kick off some generators before the killer finds them and kills them, basically. And I've had a very quick go in the past, but playing with randoms, it's really hard to get some teamwork going. So I'm quite excited to play it with a group of people and actually get a bit of competition going on. Are you guys excited about it?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Try to get in I've never had a group to play it with a whole 5 people at the same time, but the game looks fucking awesome. And you see like some of the streamers that play it and the fucking comedy value that's in it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, I like to try and learn a bit more of the systems and how it actually works, rather than just fumbling around the dark going, what the fuck is going on? Why aren't anyone talking? And then getting stabbed from behind by Jason. Hopefully we'll get into that at some point in the next week or so. And we should give it a go.
Looking forward to it.
Boy. Anyway, we have been playing some other video games this week. And Ross, why don't you tell us what you've been playing this week?
I have, apart from Second Extinction, as we were talking about at the start of the show, have jumped into the no build mode on Fortnite. So I'm putting a wee trailer on just so people can see things like the mantling and stuff like that on it. As we covered at the start of the show, it's just nice wee improvement for people who aren't obsessed with jumping into creative and seeing how fast they can put up their towers and stuff like that. As Dan was touching on, to do like the story and what Fortnite and Epic do for like their battle pass and what the events are per season. If they're going to be building around this for added content, then it's happy days that it's going to be sticking around for a wee while. But the only other thing that I've jumped into, and it was for a very, very small piece of time because I was too busy running to Dan's beck and call as normal, is Formula 1 2021. Recently came to Game Pass, so I've been jumping into that, putting my steering wheel to good use, seeing as it had gathered a little bit of dust since I haven't played Forza in a wee while. So lifts that game tenfold by playing it with the steering wheel compared to just playing it on a controller. Just the control as driving, feeling the brakes, feeling the corners and stuff like that. It's just, if you're Caninge will probably agree with the difference it makes having a wheel with this sort of game, being a massive Formula 1 fan as well. And it's just so much, it elevates the experience by having a proper setup for this type of racing game where it's not just arcadey and you can throw things into corners and it doesn't matter if you crash into people or jumping off stuff. Having the steering wheel for your Formula 1 or your Forza Motorsport type games is such a nicer experience.
Nice. I do love a bit of steering wheel action. Not that I play very many games like that, but Is yours? Was it Logitech in it?
Logitech, yes, G920.
And that's got all the gubbins you'd expect, force feedback and
Yep.
pedals and
Yep. So mine comes with
flappy
the
paddles.
flappy paddles on the wheel. It also comes with a standalone gear stick, and then you've also got the pedals for it as well.
Nice. And have you got one of the bucket seats to go in it as well?
No, just my good old Secret Labs chair that luckily I'm on carpet now, because trying to use it when it was laminate floor and was like you're trying to put the brake in, it was just like
Roll back.
you're like, shit.
Nice.
So you need a chassis now, don't you? So
Well,
you can,
that is, yes. So that will be potentially a purchase that I might make in future, depending on how good I get with the wheel or not.
Nice. And so you're doing well in your Formula One experience so far?
I'm messing around a wee bit just now. I jumped into the career mode, the standard career mode, where it's just like your own individual person. I played that and it was fine. It was okay. But then I decided to jump into the team career mode, and sort of make your own company from the get-go. Pick your livery for your car, your colours, your drivers, and then you've got to pick like your sponsors. So it's very much like, Jay, you might not be as familiar with in this type of, but Dan, don't know if you remember from like,
That's very generous of you.
You're welcome. Don't know if you remember from like the old FIFA career modes where you could sign 3 scouts, and one of them cost say $1 million a week, but he was like 5-star everything, and then one cost 600,000, but he was only 3-star, but it was better for your budget. And then there was a guy who would do like as much as he possibly could for the lowest price, but remember didn't get you the best players. They do the very similar in regards to setting up contracts in the career. So you can pick your sponsor who'll give you like a massive payout to begin with, but like your annual bonuses are shite.
Yeah.
And then as you work through, you'll get folk who'll maybe pay you less to begin with, but they're heavily incentivized. So if you get like 10 podium finishes in the season, or if you're a lower base type racing team, if you finish in the point scoring for 5 races consecutively, you get a payout for things like that. So it's quite good, like balancing your initial budget, because obviously you want to have a good initial budget so that you can do the faster R&D for your car. But then at the same time, you've then got to make sure that you've got enough money throughout the whole course of a season to do like your paying your R&D development, paying your drivers, paying your sponsorships. So you've got to make sure that as much as you get the big bucks up front, you've got a consistent income based on how you're racing, how your sponsors see you based on your positioning and your type of racing. So it's quite a good wee management type mode. And if the new one that's coming out that is going to be a full-on manager sim for F1 takes bits and pieces for that, then it's got potentially have football manager rivaling performance.
Oh, you said the magic word. Right, move on. Nice. Well, I'm glad you're getting into it, Ross. Is there a new why am I asking? Is there a new F1 out at some point?
Well, the season's just started for the new season's just started, so there will be another one coming out shortly.
Wonderful, good. I look forward to hearing all about that in the near future. Anything else, or should we move on to ladies' favourite, Daniel?
Yeah, we could do. Yes, nothing else I've really played this week.
Cool. Ladies' favourite, Daniel. Then, what have you been playing this week, other than?
I won't talk about Fortnite. We kind of touched on Fortnite, but I've been playing the DC Lego Villains game. As I mentioned, my son and I are now we're playing games together. So that the Lego franchise is a series that is easy for children, and as you progress through the games, they get a little bit easier and easier. So yeah, Villains is pretty cool. It's got a nice, wicked sense of humor, as all Lego games have. Obviously, the twist being you're playing the bad guys, and it's fun to play as the bad guys. Going through and playing the games, kind of the Lego games we have been playing, it's interesting to see kind of how they've progressed. Like, I remember back in the day when the first Lego, I think it was Lego Star Wars, was the first Lego game out on consoles, and to see what that was and kind of how clunky the mechanics were and how kind of serious to not serious it took itself to kind of now is, it's amazing. So this is a game if you've got children, you need to get them into gaming this Lego series, kind of DC, the Skywalker. No, yeah. What was the last? Force Awakens is the one. Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Those ones have really made it easier to kind of give your second controller to your child to let them basically fanny around, because they can't do half the stuff, and you can carry on and you can do the tasks at hand to complete the level. Yeah, so this one's just funny as hell.
Nice. Have you played the Harry Potter ones? That's the only one I've even remotely touched, because my kid loves Harry Potter. But
Yeah, you see, that one I wasn't. So I've watched all the films, but the Harry Potter Lego games will just not. I was like, do you know what? No. So Star Wars I played, Indiana Jones.
So you'd go for the villains one over Harry Potter?
I think, yeah. I mean, obviously, my son's 6, so his at the moment, like every now and then, I have to go. Yeah, do you remember this right stick? You can move the camera and you can see where I am. Because he's like, "Daddy, where are you?" And I'm like, "Move the camera, mate. I'm in front of you."
You got
but
this.
Where? Yeah, I'm like, give me the controller, son. I love you, but I'm going to kill you. Yeah. So yeah, if you like as the humor progresses, like the villains is very good. The Marvel ones, the last Marvel one, I think was it Superheroes 2, where you were just kind of dropped in. You were kind of just dropped in, and it didn't give you that. I do like when they have a story and they have, you go to mission A, complete mission A, then go to B. I don't like this open world Lego style of game. Hopefully one day they'll bring out a game that has a nice, kind of a mix of missions and a little bit of open world and missions, but they haven't just yet.
I was going to say we'll see about that next week, perhaps.
Well, yeah, I mean, I might be playing Redacted, but I can't talk about Redacted.
How Redacted is official.
Yeah, so I mean, Redacted's all right, but Redacted.
My opinion is Redacted.
Redacted, yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, so yeah, if you like funny humor, DC Villains is definitely worth a shout. I'm just annoyed I paid full price for that game.
Is it now on Game Pass then?
No, not on Game Pass. No, it's all my Microsoft Rewards points have been buying flipping Lego games, much to my dismay. But to see the joy in my son,
yeah,
and me drink 14 beers after I have a session with him, it's it is good fun. In all honesty,
that's the way the nature intended.
Well, exactly. I just can't wait till he understands fucking right stick is to fucking move the camera.
Yeah. Nice. Well, hopefully we'll grasp it soon. Have you been playing anything else?
Yeah, touched a little bit of Apex and have seen that now it's Xbox Series X and S enhanced, and it looks crisp, plays smooth, and I am still shite.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice, succinct summary there.
Yes, thank you. What have you been touching?
Regale us with what you've been playing, Jay.
Yeah.
Well, I've been touching. I can't not talk about that on here, but what I've been
Redacted.
playing is a couple of games. I did want to talk about last week, but obviously I couldn't make it. So a game called Soundfall, I got to play the preview of, which is a music rhythm dungeon crawling RPG.
Oh my god.
Which is an odd combination, but it does work. I've played the first hour, so I think there was about 10 songs or 10 levels, as it were. And the idea is you drop into a level and everything's sort of got a beat. So the trees are swaying, the grass is blowing in the wind, and everything's moving to the beat. And as you attack, you've got to attack on beat to get the maximum power out of your attacks.
Okay.
So if you hit, I think it's the A button to shoot your gun. If you do it in rhythm with the song, you get a good combo going. Whereas if you miss the beat, you sort of fire out weak duds, basically. You might as well be spitting in their face. And the idea is just to go through and just dungeon crawl, collect loot, defeat enemies. Each song is a varying length and varying tempo and varying style. So all the ones I played were like EDM style music. So fast dance, yeah. Whereas there's metal and rock and country and pop and all sorts of different styles in the full game, supposedly. But I really enjoyed it. You can play it with up to 4 players as well.
Oh wow.
which I didn't get to try because it's only local, and no one in this household is fancy in playing that. But it'd be quite interesting to see 4 players all keeping to the beat, playing online, shooting to some death metal or something later on, like 300 beats per minute. But really enjoyed it. It's simple, but it's good. I enjoyed. If you enjoyed a bit of loot collection and dungeon crawling,
No, so loot, that's me.
Yeah, loot. Yeah, I mean the loot itself, again, just from this very simple preview, was even then was pretty good. I got some decent upgraded weapons. All the weapons are based around like musical instruments, like I had like guitars and sort of wind instruments and stuff like that. And you can get a different armor and special effects and stuff. And yeah, it's enjoyable enough. My preview's up on the site now. I put a gameplay clip up on YouTube as well. And then you get bonuses if you finish the level before the song finishes, because then it just loops back and then you sort of fail, as it were. But yeah, enjoyable. I think it's out later this year on Xbox, so we shall look out for that one.
Sounds interesting. It's a very strange kind of combination
it's an odd combination, but it works somehow, just because obviously you're following the music and the rhythm, but everything in the world is also following it, so you can it's easier to keep track. There's a little metronome at the bottom of the screen, but because the trees, like I said, the trees are swaying or the buildings are bobbing and stuff like that, it's easy to sort of follow them beats. But it's also quite tricky. I got to the final boss of the area that we were allowed to play, and fuck me, the enemies come out left, right, and center, and I'm like, I'm trying to keep the beat, but it's so tempting just to start mashing the button to attack. But then if you do that, then obviously you fire out weak bullets. But then if you do it too much in a row, you actually have to stop and reload your gun, as it were. Whereas if you keep on the beat, you can just keep firing indefinitely. So it definitely pays more attention, pays more dividends to keep with the beat, as it were. Right. We should check that out later this year, hopefully. And the other one I want to talk about last week, which I didn't get a chance to, is a game called Frightenance. Scary.
Oh.
This is a not a walk-in simulator, that's not fair, but it's basically a really short narrative first-person adventure. So there's no puzzles, there's no combat, there's no real difficulty at all. You literally just walk through this abandoned building and see all the creepy things that happens. And it's enjoyable enough. It gets a good couple of frights in. It's clearly, I forget the developer's name. I think it's PlayStage, I think. They've clearly played PT. I don't know if you guys have seen.
I'm watching the trailer here, and this is
players of that, because there's a lot of influence there. And there's, at the end of the experience, which is only about 45 minutes long anyway, there's literally a section that is PT. So you're going through a corridor over and over again, and things get more and more fucked up as you go through it. And I really started to get into it towards the end, because it sort of plays with mental health and bizarre visuals and horror and gore and all this sort of stuff. And then you get to this room. I'm going to spoil a slightly short game now, but you get to this room and all of like the enemies, or not enemies, but all of the creepy things you've seen are all in this one room right at the end. And they go, and this is called the Frightenance, and that's the end of the game. Like, but it was just getting started. Like, everything was starting to get really messed up, and we finished. And it alludes to there being more, like perhaps a sequel or a further enhancement to this release. But what it was, for 45 minutes, it was enjoyable enough horror experience, but it wasn't a game like Outlast or something like that where you've got to actually challenge to get through this area. You literally just walk around and just find the things that are going to happen to you.
No, okay. So it's like a ghost house as such. You need to get from basically, A to B, and everything in the middle is what's going to happen regardless.
Effectively, yeah. You play as the janitor of this building, and you have to go through and make sure everybody's abandoned their rooms because the building's getting knocked down. And you can only go in certain rooms on certain runs. So you go in a room, you see what's happened. You inevitably see some fucking dead person, or there's one woman who's got about 1,000 cats in her apartment. And they're just sitting there staring at you like creepy cunts. And then that happens, and then you start again, and you go walk again and see something else. Again, very much like PT, like just looping over and over again until you get to the end. But I think it's only a couple of quid in the store. So if you want a short and sharp horror experience, check it out.
So I like achievements. So
I mean, there is some easy achievements as well. I think I missed one, which I don't really know how, because I did everything I thought, but it'd be easy enough to get them all within the hour.
Okay. Oh, in the hour. I don't know. I like my 5-minute ones.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not 5 minutes, because the guy walks fucking like he's looking for a treacle.
I accidentally bought like 3 games, spent 15 quid on 5-minute games, which was terrible.
We need some intervention treatment for you.
Yeah. Well, it was to kind of pull someone's arm and say, look, just open my account and get all those achievements for me. I want to try and break 200,000. I'm only 15,000 away, so yeah.
You can do it on your own. I believe in you, Daniel. I believe.
Yeah, I know, but especially when someone says, "Oh, I can do that in half an hour," you're like, "Go on then, please do."
But where's the sense of pride and accomplishment? Anyway, that's about it. I've been playing. I've been playing one other game, but I'm not allowed to talk about it yet. So,
you've been playing Redacted too.
I've been playing Redacted too as well. Yeah, and Redacted is pretty decent. Oh. If fucking hard, but we'll talk about that next week. Anyway, gentlemen, that's all we've been playing this week. However, there's always games coming to Game Pass all the time. They will not stop releasing fucking games on Game Pass, including.
There is only a couple, to be fair, just now. Just coaxing us into it probably. So the only 2 that's really been put out just now is MLB The Show 22, which is Cloud and Console, which is April 5th, and Chinatown Detective Agency on console and PC April 7th.
Nice. Has anybody had a chance to check out Weird West yet, which came out a couple of
No.
days ago on Game Pass?
It's got loads of good reviews, hasn't it, at the moment? Everyone's talking about it on social media.
Yes, I'm very intrigued to start. It comes from some guys who made Dishonored. Ross, I know you're a big fan.
Yep.
And yeah, it looks really awesome. I've installed it, but I've yet to start it yet. So yeah, hopefully, well, I say with all the optimism in the world, I would try it this week, but we'll see.
So is this a game Graham's going to like? The stealth in it?
I don't think so whatsoever somehow. But we'll see. You never know. You might enjoy it. Anyway, what about leaving Game Pass? Daniel, why don't you take on that mantle since he's not here?
So, well, as I felt that it was blank and someone had to fill it out, I have looked. So we've got The Long Dark, Rain on Your Parade. I believe that's leaving for PC as well. MLB The Show 21. Now that's leaving. And then you've got Destiny 2 on PC and Pathway 2 on PC. And those are the games that are leaving Game Pass.
Was a shame. Rain on Your Parade is pretty decent, I think.
It was a good cloud game. Sit on your phone, have a little.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Right, yeah, okay. I didn't see what I did.
A cloud game.
You
play as a cloud in the game.
Okay, yeah, that was not intentional at all. If
just
it was,
accept it and move
play
on.
it off smooth, man. Say it was intentional. Fucking hell.
No, I go for the comedic value. That's what I am here to laugh my way into your hearts.
Nice. Well,
yeah,
go play it before it leaves. Ross, do you want to take on Games of Gold?
So we've got another site, which is available 1st to the 30th. Hue, which I highly recommend because it's a great wee puzzler.
Damn right. Yeah, great game.
You've played Hue as well, Dan, haven't you?
I have. Yeah, brilliant little thing.
Available later in the month, 16th to the 15th of May. I'm going to butcher this one. Outpost Caloke X, which is April 1st to the 15th, and MXV ATV Alive, which is the end of the month, April 16th to April 30th.
Nice. So again, go check out Hue definitely when it comes in a couple of weeks, because that is a fantastic little game.
Yeah, very much like oh god, I can't even think. Limbo, but as you would expect.
With colour.
Kind of colour.
It's got colour. Well, yeah, I mean, all the puzzles are colour-based puzzles.
Yes, you have to use your little wheel thing.
Yeah.
Not unlike Redacted I'm playing. Anyway, gentlemen, I think that's a podcast, as they call it.
It is a show.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for listening. If you made it this far, you're a fucking hero. You can find us every weekend on Sunday night at 8 p.m.
Ish.
at youtube.com/Xbox Tavern Official, as well as xboxtavern.com, at Xbox Tavern Twitter, and wherever else you want to search. Ask Jeeves for Xbox Tavern. We will be there, hopefully. And if we're not, just
Let us
ask him
know.
again. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much for tuning in. We love you. Have a wonderful week, and we shall speak to you next week.
Episode
Goodbye.
74.
Yeah. 1 week before the quiz.
Oh, yeah.
I won't be here, so I can't talk about Redacted.
No, you can't talk about Redacted. What a shame.
Damn it.
It's all right. I'll talk about Redacted instead.
You
It's
can
going to
talk
be the
about
Redacted.
Redacted.
So.
Episode 74, Redacted.